Welcome everybody. Now we are going to the next part that is to find out the velocities of different points on the link just like last time, but by making use of a different method. Last time we have done it by velocity polygon method. Now we are going to do same in the sense that we are going to again find out the velocities of various points, angular velocities of various points, but the method is going to be different, and that method is called as instantaneous center method or IC method. So this is a different method altogether, although the basic concept is still the same. What is the basic concept? Basic concept is velocity is equal to angular velocity into the distance. So V equal to R omega. That basic principle will never go anywhere. It will still be the same, but the application of that particular formula is going to be different. How that formula is looked upon is different, process is different, method is altogether different. The results what we are going to get, they are same. So let us see what it is all about. So instantaneous center method. What is the first meaning of instantaneous center? Instantaneous means at that instant. So at a particular instant, the center of certain links are at certain place. We'll come to know better as we go further. So let us go further, and then maybe we'll come back again and talk about what is the exact meaning of instantaneous center and why it is called so. Okay, so let us try to understand the theory behind it. So let me draw one link like this. So let's say this is a link. So as you know the shape of the link is immaterial. The shape of the link can be anything, only it should be a rigid link. Okay, that is what we have seen last time. So I have drawn link number 1 and also link number 2. So we have drawn two links which are connected to each other like forming a kinematic pair. And moreover, it is said that the link number 2 is rotating like this, which we say angular velocity of link number 2. Okay. Now we know that suppose there is point A here. Now what is the velocity of A? We say velocity of A is, let's say this point is B. Then we first join A and B. See what we have done last time. Then we say this is the velocity of point A with respect to B as per the last method. Because the method is later on seen as a polygon method, but this is what we have done even last time also. Now suppose we take another point here called as C. This is B, this is A, this is C. Now what is velocity of C? For that we join C to B. We join C to B, and then we draw a line like this. And now we say that this is velocity of C with respect to B. Okay. Now you will find that suppose you are given a body like this, and you are given that this is point A moving like this, there is point B here moving like this. Then this particular link is rotating about which point? Suppose that is asked to you. That means what? You are asked the question here exactly opposite of what is here. In this case, we already know that the link is rotating about this point, that is given. Now we are asked what is the velocity of this, what is the velocity of this. And then we said this is the velocity, this is the velocity. Now here the question asked is exactly opposite. Here these two velocities are given, but about which point it is rotating, in this case, about which point this link is rotating, that is not given. So are you getting? This is exactly opposite problem. To find the center of rotation, when the velocities are given, here center of rotation is given and you have found out the velocity. So how will you get the center of rotation of this link? You have to do exactly reverse of this. So we draw perpendicular we draw perpendicular. That means this is the point about which this link must be rotating. Now it is physically not seen, like this point is physically seen. You can touch this point. You can experience that it is a pinpoint. In this case, this is the imaginary point. There is no exact pin here. But this link when it rotates, that rotation is as if means imaginary, as if this link is rotating about this imaginary point. That is the meaning. So the center of rotation of this link is here, and this is here only at this instance, because the next instance, if you see, because this link is moving, so after next instance, suppose you take next second this link will go somewhere else. So the velocity of this A will be something else, velocity of B will be something else, and then if you draw perpendicular and try to locate the center, it will not be this, it will be something else. So this center is only at this particular instant. The instant what is given, position of the link what is given, at that position, at that instant, A is going like this, B is going like this. So the instantaneous center, now the word comes instantaneous center, meaning at that instant, the center of this link is here and it is performing a rotation like this, such that velocity of A is this, which is omega into r, velocity of B is this, which is omega into this r. Okay, so we are done exactly opposite of this. Now there is some difference still there. This instantaneous center, this is also instantaneous center. Now this center is going to be fixed here. So after some time, even if you do, still the answer will be this. The center will be, because it's a fixed type of instantaneous center. Whereas here the instantaneous center is going to change. Its position is not going to remain the same, but still both are called as instantaneous centers. Okay, so this is the basic concept which is used in this method, which we are going to see further what it is. Now there is a method of denoting this center. Now the center what we have shown here, this center we have called it as B, this is A, this is C, etc. But in the instantaneous center method, when this link is link number 1, I'll again write the same thing. This is called as link number 2. Then this center is called as O12. Instantaneous center is denoted by letter O, and 1 and 2, they are the two numbers which are representing these two links which are connected here. Now it can be also written as O21. So order is not important. 1, 2 and 2, 1 is same. So what is this center? This instantaneous center has got the name O12 or O21. Okay. So this is the notation which you have to understand and remember well. Okay. Now having done this simple thing, having understood up to this much, now let us write down few rules which I'll dictate. Properties of instantaneous center. So write down the properties of this instantaneous center which you are going to make use of for the further analysis. So I'll dictate, you have to write down properties. It is denoted by, in fact it is denoted, not by, it is denoted irrespective of order of link. It is denoted irrespective of order of link. So the first rule is O12 is same as O21. It is denoted irrespective of the order of the link. Second rule is at instantaneous center, write down, at instantaneous center, one rigid link, at instantaneous center, one rigid link rotates instantaneously, one rigid link rotates instantaneously relative to another link, relative to another link. So one rigid link is rotating instantaneously with respect to another link. Number 3, two rigid links have no linear velocity, underline the word no. Two rigid links have no linear velocity relative to each other, no linear velocity relative to each other at instantaneous center. At instantaneous center. So at instantaneous center, there is no linear velocity related to each other. What is the meaning of that? You write down into bracket, continue further, into bracket. That is velocity of instantaneous center. So we have already written here something. Now into bracket write down velocity of O12 is same whether it is on 1 or 2. So velocity, suppose you are asked what is velocity of O12. So velocity of O12, whatever it is, that will be same even if you say that this point belongs to 1, even if you say that this point belongs to 2, its velocity is going to remain the same. Whatever way you have calculated, it is going to remain the same. So this particular thing what we have written in the bracket, this you have to remember very well. Velocity of O12 is same whether it is on 1 or whether it is on 2. So suppose we find out velocity of one more. What is velocity of 0.34? Now where is 34 we have not yet seen. But suppose there is a point called as velocity of 0.034. There is one instantaneous center whose number is 034. Suppose. Then the velocity of 034 is same whether it is on 3 or whether it is on 4. As per this. Now where is 034 etc. that we will see afterwards. Okay. So this rule number 3 is extremely important, which we are going to make use of. And then some other things also we are written. Now at this stage we will come to the next part, and that is to show ICs of 4-bar mechanism. To find out the ICs of 4-bar mechanism. Okay. So what we do is, I am drawing a 4-bar mechanism. So this is link number 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are usual 4-bar mechanism which we have done many times, and out of that link number 2 is rotating like this. Now earlier we used to specify points A, B, C, D here and then do the polygon method analysis. Now here first thing is we will identify the centers, instantaneous centers. Now if you see this link number 1 and link number 2 combination, it is same as this. So like this O12, you can easily say that this point is O12. This is instantaneous center O12. So like that, this is instantaneous center O23, because 2 and 3 they are joined here. So it is O23. What is this instantaneous center? It is O34. And what is this center? O14. You can also call it as O41. O41. This can be O43. This can be O32. O12, O21. So we have marked 4 instantaneous centers. Now how many instantaneous centers exist for this link, these 4 links combination? The answer is there are going to be 6 instantaneous centers. There are going to be 6 instantaneous centers, out of which these 4 we have immediately obtained just by observation. Just by observing 1 and 2 connected here, we call this O12. Just because 2 and 3 connected here, we call this O23. Just because 3 and 4 connected here, we call this as O34 and this is O14. But then there are 2 more centers existing. Now what are these centers? What are 2 more centers? That is what we are going to find out. Now for that, we will make some such combination. So let me write here 1, 2, 3 and 4. So there are 4 links, so I have written like this. Maybe I will continue it on this line. Now, what are the different combinations that we are going to make by making use of 2 numbers? So 1 with 2, 1 with 3, 1 with 4. Now 2 with 3, 2 with 4. Why I not written 2 with 1? Because 2 with 1 is same as 1 is 2. So 2 1 is same as 1 2, so that is not written. But 2 3, 2 4. Now 3 with 4. 4 with all others are already there. So now if you are given 4 numbers and you are asked to form a pair of 2 numbers, then what you will do? You will form these many pairs. 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 2 3, 2 4 and 3 4. So how many pairs you have obtained? You have obtained 6 pairs. When there are 4 links, you have obtained 6 pairs. Now this is as per the permutation combination rule, which all of you know. So as per that, 4 links taken 2 at a time, when order is not important, you get 6 combinations. Now these 6 combinations are the 6 ICs that are present for this case. Out of that 6 ICs, 4 ICs we have already obtained, we have observed, we have located them only by inspection without any difficulty. Now which are the ones which we have indicated? 1 2, 2 3, 3 4 and 1 4. Now what is not known to us so far is 1 3 we don't know, 2 4 we don't know, but it is there. There is going to be 1 3 somewhere. There is going to be 2 4 somewhere, but we don't know where it is. And moreover, what we are also going to say now is that 1 3 is going to be a center which is a combination of link 1 and link 3. 2 4 is the center combination of 2 and 4. Now you will wonder, 2 and 4 they are not connected. Like 3 and 4 they were connected, this was 3 4. Now 2 and 4 they are not connected at all, they are totally different links. Then how can there be 2 4 center? That could be your question. 1 and 3 not connected, how can be 1 3 center existing there? That could be your question, but that we will answer as we go further ahead. So at the moment we are coming to this much, and at the moment let us say we are stuck here. We don't know how to find out these 2 centers which are also there. So we have come up to this. Now at this stage we are going to make use of one theorem which already exists, and using that theorem we are in a position to find out these 2 centers. So what is that theorem? That we will now see. So just write this down and then I will come to the next part. Now there is one theorem which is called as 3 centers in line theorem, or it is also called as Kennedy's theorem. So I will just write it here. Three centers in line theorem, or it is also called as Kennedy's theorem. Now what is this theorem? Let's write down this theorem first. If three bodies have planar motion, if 3 bodies or links, if 3 links have planar motion, their ICs, their instantaneous centers lie in one straight line. If 3 links have planar motion, their instantaneous centers lie in one line. So what it says? The theorem says that if there are 3 links which are moving in one plane, in fact our entire work is in one plane, we are only talking about planar geometry. So all our linkages etc., they are, what case we are taking is the case where the links are moving in one plane. They are not moving in 3 dimensions. So whenever the links are moving, whenever the linkage is moving in one plane, planar motion it is called as, then in such case, if you take any 3 links, then the instantaneous centers formed by those 3 links, they will lie in one line. That is the theorem. Now what it means, here you can see there are 4 links, okay, and they are having a planar motion. So as per this theorem, if you take any 3 links, suppose I take link number 1 and 2 and 4. I took 3 links out of 4, 1, 2 and 4, any 3 links. Now what are the different centers formed by this, like this, by this method? 1, 2, 1, 4 and 2, 4. These are the 3 centers formed by these 3 links. Now the rule says, now when 3 bodies have planar motion, their instantaneous centers lie in one line. That means 1, 2, 1, 4 and 2, 4, they will lie in one line. 1, 2, 1, 4 and 2, 4, they will be in one line. Suppose you take a center, let's say some other combination, 3, 1 and 4. So I have taken these 3 links. Out of the 4 links, I have taken these 3 links. Now what will be the centers formed? 1, 3, 1, 4 and then 1, 3, 3, 4 I'll write here, and then 1, 4. Maybe like this, 3, 1, 3, 4 and 1, 4. Now these 3 centers, they are going to be in one line. So 1, 3, 1, 3 same as 3, 1, 1, 4 and 3, 4, they will be in one line. They will be in one line. That is the theorem. What theorem says? If you take any 3 links, then the centers form, 3 centers will be formed by 3 links. So these 3 links, in fact I should write 2, 4 here. Now these 3 links, 3 centers which are formed, they will be always in one line. That is the rule. That is a theorem called as Kennedy's theorem. Now this theorem we are going to make use of to find out what is not known. So 1, 3 we don't know, we have to find it out. 2, 4 we don't know, we have to find it out. So that we will be able to find out by this rule, by this theorem. So how do we do it now? So now having understood this much, now let us try to find out where is O13. Let us try to find out where is O13. And for finding out O13, we have to do one process, and that is called as, I'll write here. We have to make use of what is called as Kennedy's circle. So we have to draw one Kennedy's circle, and that circle and this rule combined, when we use,